Hi, I'm Ginny Wemmers, and I'm here today with Mary Ann Miller, who's chair of the Finance Commission. This is the second of two Wednesday words on the topic of making church happen.
Okay, let's start by spending a little time thinking about giving. In the broadest sense, giving means offering our time, our talent, and our treasure. Ginny has already done a Wednesday Words that looked at some examples of different ways that folks at Emanuel give their time and talent. Today, our focus is on treasure. So that means we're going to talk about the money that people give to Emanuel. Our goal is to help folks understand where Emanuel's money comes from, how it gets used, and why it's important for us all to know just a bit more about it. And we have some graphics to help us do this.
This first chart shows us where Emanuel's money comes from. You can see that most of the money Emanuel has to spend comes from us. About 92% of 92 cents of every dollar comes from individual contributions. 80 cents of every dollar comes from pledge payments, and another 12 cents comes from unpledged contributions. That 12 cents represents money that just shows up, and this slice of the pie just represents a guess as to how much money that's going to be this year. So now you see how important that pledges are. Let's talk about where we are with pledge payments this year.
And looky here, it's a pledge thermometer. One benefit of our Realm software system is that it produces pledge thermometers to show progress toward pledge completion. On your most recent contribution statement, I hope you noticed there were two thermometers. One of them showed pledge payment progress for your household. The other thermometer showed progress toward pledge completion for the whole parish. And we're going to focus on that thermometer for the parish a bit. It showed that as of October 15th, we're doing pretty well. We were sitting at about 83% pledge completion, which is, I would think, a bit ahead of where we would expect to be in mid-October. The number at the top of the pledge thermometer, $210,000, is the pledge target that the Finance Commission and the vestry set for 2023. And we set that target around this time last year. The number just below our pledge target figure, that figure that's a bit less than $198,000, that represents the total pledges we had received by the end of 2022. We did receive some additional pledges in January of 2023, so our actual pledge total for this year is a bit over $201,000. So that means we were able to achieve around 95 to 96% of our pledge target.
Now that we've talked about pledging, let's talk about where our money, Emanuel's monies, goes. You can see from this chart that the biggest expense we have is payroll. 58 cents of every dollar goes for wages, benefits, and payroll taxes. Our next biggest expense is the building. 6 cents of every dollar goes for utilities, and another 6 cents goes for routine maintenance. We also spend money in the office. 8 cents of every dollar goes for things like computers and phones and internet and printing and, oh yes, paper. And finally, in this segment, we send 12 cents of every dollar to the diocese. It's called voluntary proportional giving, and it's our pledge to the diocese so they can know how much money they have to spend. Adding all this up, it comes to about 90 cents of every dollar we receive just goes to keep our doors open before we do any of the work we're called to do.
Okay, so please note that a lot of that 90 cents that Ginny just described is relatively fixed. For the most part, just keeping the doors open at Emanuel costs what it costs. We also want to note that Our 2023 payroll expenses are based on us having a rector with us for just 6 months. So as we go forward, we will need to make sure that we have sufficient resources to support a rector for a full year while still covering our other expenses. We do have some cash reserves that we can draw on in the short term to help us grow and to cover unexpected expenses that may occur. At the same time, we do need to stay mindful that we cannot continue to just tap those cash reserves for an extended period of time. That would not be a wise thing to do. So to wrap things up, there are basically 4 things we want you to know about the treasure that you give to Emanuel. First, most of Emanuel's money does come from us. Second, pledging is so important because it really helps our church leaders use Emanuel's money more wisely. Third, most of our money goes to keeping our parish just operational. Fourth, and finally, the more money we are able to gather in beyond our essential expenses, then the more money we can put toward serving our neighbors, both locally and in the wider community.
So, in closing, we hope this has helped you understand how important it is to give to Emanuel and how important pledging is to making church happen. Thanks for watching.